because there are a lot of variations. You have that. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play Interstellar, especially if you're a beginner and you don't have any foundation whatsoever. I'm going to explain to you what key things you need to understand, what things you need to be prepared of, and also a couple practice methods and routines that you should use when you're practicing at home by yourself. To begin the main opening, we need to play the same note in the right hand over and over again. If you've got a small hand or big hand, this doesn't really matter because you're just playing this E to C over and over again. So when you've done it for the entire 4 bars, which I will have it here anyways, so you should be able to see the cursor or the purple tab pop up. So you should be able to follow along and play it. There's nothing strange about rhythm. I just use the fingers 1 and 3. When you've done the first 4 bars, then we start to introduce some left hand. The left hand you need to just be wary of. You need to use your pinky, you need to use your 4th fingers, and you need to use your 3rd fingers for this second line. Nothing else. So for this second line, at bar number 5, you just put in that pinky there. For bar number 6, you put in your 4th finger as we mentioned. And do take note, my right hand does change. So every now and then you do play the E's and C's, the 1 and 3 fingers back and forth. I think it's for 5 bars. And then for bars number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, most of it just plays the E and the D's. So you should be able to see it pop up on the screen if you aren't too sure. Especially if you can't hear it, it's better to see it. So when you've done bar number 5, and you're up to bar 6, then you do another set of this right hand. Now, in this specific sheet music that we're following, we don't play the left hand in bar number 7. That's because it's a tie, and we don't play the second note of that tie. So once we've accomplished bar number 5 to 7, this is when we need to use the 5, 4, 3 fingers. And all these are right next to each other. So it should be very stepwise and it shouldn't be very tricky for your left hand to look for. So for bar number 8 now, we need to be careful of the right hand. The first 2 notes we have an E, C, and then we have E, D, E, D, and that's our rotation between the 3rd finger and the thumb, or the E and C's. I'll do it slowly so we can do it together. So this is just bar number 8. So I'll do it in 3, 2, 1. You can slow it down, you can speed it up, or you can just try practice that over and over again until you're used to it. Bar 8 would be considered the trickier one. Not because it's fast, not because you need to look for notes. It's just because you need to recognize what it looks like on paper and the differences between bars number 7 and bars 8. When we're good with practicing each bar individually, so you're good with just bar 5, you're good with bar 6, bar 7, and bar 8, and you haven't tried it all together, well, let's try it together right now. So I'll count us in so you can play along. So 3, 2, 1, now. If you're able to play it like that with me, then great job, you've already accomplished the first 8 bars. everything repeats, it doesn't change at all. So for bar number 9, you have the E and D in the right hand, in the left hand, 4th finger. And then the next 2 notes, right hand doesn't change at all. Your next 2 notes after that, I'll go from the beginning of bar 9. So your right hand stays the same, but your left hand plays the 4th finger, the pinky, and back to a 4th finger. So for bar number 10 now, we'll just move 1 bar at a time and eventually we'll come back and play all the bars together. It's better off just to learn a new bar or be prepared for what to expect in the upcoming bar than practice all of it together, because you can do that yourself or we'll do that at the end of the video. So for bar number 10, left hand plays your 3rd finger on the C, and your right hand, again, like I mentioned before, doesn't change. And now your left hand goes down to this one, and the right hand doesn't change. So I'll do bar number 11. This is where we want to make the first 11 bars somewhat fluent before we move on to bar number 12. You can skip to bar 12 if you want, or I've got the timestamps here. If you didn't even want to practice the first 11 bars, you could skip straight to bar 12. But with this 3rd line, I'll play bar number 10 to bar number end of bar 11 with you. So 3, 2, 1, go. And at the very end, for a slight interpretation, gradually slow down. Don't need to keep it at the same speed for bar 11. If you want to learn more songs or full tutorials, we've got our online web course up and running. This is where I include a library of videos teaching with the same format, songs step by step for beginners all the way up to advanced level students who want to do exams. I've also included videos from my current students where I do live troubleshoots in the piano lessons. I summarize it and I put it up onto the online course that you can watch yourself if you're sharing the similar problem. Because this is a brand new opening for our website, we've got a special discount for all you new learners who want to learn piano anytime, anywhere. This is the most famous part and the part you've probably been waiting for, the infamous and we're just going to follow this sheet music for now because it's easier to recognize what to play, the rhythms, and it's not too much because there are a lot of variations. You have that. You have a lot of different variations. It can get very confusing. So we just follow this piece of sheet music and then we can arrange it after. And for this part, we need to understand and know how to play chords with both hands. I do have a video mentioning and teaching you how to play chords, how to read chords, but we're going to do that right now. If you don't have time to go back and watch it, we can learn it together anyways in this lesson right here. So I suggest you to try keep a consistent fingering. What I mean by that is you can copy me. I like to use the same finger for as many chords as possible. So in bar 12, left hand, 5 and 1. With the right hand, 1 and 3. And I like to keep this same structure for the next upcoming bars as well. It just depends if left hand needs to change or if the right hand needs to stretch, but we'll try to keep those fingerings as long as we can, and then I'll instruct you what to do after. So for bar number 12, now be careful. What I just did just then was when I actually held all my right hand, as you can see. In this piece of sheet music, we don't hold those chords or just that chord. The reason why, first of all, in terms of counting, we need to be able to count 3 seconds or 3 beats per 1 bar. And I think personally why this doesn't work very easily is because it requires a lot of stretch. And some of you guys might have small hands or your fingers haven't trained much to stretch at a large capacity. An average hand can span up to about 8 to 9 keys. I am fortunate enough to have been able to stretch to 10, even though I have pretty small hands, but that's from overtime practice. When you are good with stretches, you can hold them down, but I would suggest, because we're following sheet music, stay focused, stay very steady with what we see, don't change it. You can use whatever finger. Release the chord every time we move to the pinky. So we have a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll put it play cleaner. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, I'm following the principles of crotchets, only holding it for 1 beat. At bar number 14, I keep the same finger in left hand. So it goes from this in bar number 13 to this in bar number 14. So it just comes up by 1. And you can imagine at bar 16, it goes up again. So imagine for your next couple left hands. Of course, you need to hold it for a lot longer because they are tied semi-briefs. So for bar 14 now, I'm sticking with a very similar fingering in the right hand. 1 and 3. And I'm letting go so I can play the pinky on E. And then I go to bar 16. So remember the left hand now has moved to this position. I still try to keep a 1 and 3 finger in my right hand. I understand if it's a bit too much of a stretch for you. If it is, you can see my fingers here, it goes to a 1 and 4. You can experiment, use some different things, but don't keep changing it for every single chord. Try to be as consistent as possible because that's how your fingers remember it. So once you're familiar with bar 16, 17, left hand comes down to what we did previously, and the right hand continues to go up. So imagine the right hand from bar number 12 started there with 1 and 3. Then for bar 14, thumb stayed in the same place. Bar 16, the thumb stayed in the same place, but the right hand, the upper fingers keep getting higher and higher, and the thumb stays in the same place. So when you can recognize the thumb doesn't move, it's your 3rd, 4th, and pinky that keeps shifting higher and higher and higher. Your left hand just moves up and down. It's actually not too hard to work and decipher this piece. So let's try and get this done as soon as possible because I don't want to hold up too much of your time, especially if you just want to learn it straight away. So when we're good with bar number 18, then bar 19, the tricky part here is making sure that you have to release your notes. If you try to hold on to it, first of all, it's blurry. Second of all, it's not comfortable because you have natural stretch and your hand feels very tense. We don't want much tension. We want a lot of relaxed fingers. Another thing is, don't sit too close to the piano. Sit further back. Give some more arm room from yourself to the keys. Because if you're sitting too far back, yep, we're going to have troubles. Sitting too far close, yeah, you're playing like this. You want them flat. So let's go from bar number 12. Let's set that as a checkpoint. So we have our main theme, bar 12, and let's go up to what we know now, the end of bar 19. So let me count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. If you're able to play along like that, that's really good already. These chords do stretch a bit. Again, what I've done with you earlier is we just try to work on one bar at a time. We do 14 and 15. We work on bar 16, 17, bar 18, 19. Then we combine it all together. We try to notice little patterns, such as repetitive notes, the same fingers, as well as any type of movement that looks really stepwise rather than leap-wise. As far as I see, it just takes time to practice this and get used to it without stretching, and you should be fine playing the general theme or the first 19 bars of this Interstellar version.